Assalamu alaikum, ahlan wa sahlan. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about possessive adjectives and pronouns in Arabic, their structure, and how they look similar or different from English. So let's go. At the beginning of this lesson, I would like to start with providing the information here about the basics of noun, pronoun, and their related indicatives and determiners. It matters in Arabic to understand the nature of the nouns, so their indicative or related pronouns. In Arabic, it is important to use the correct pronouns and nouns for the degree of the person if it's the first person المتحدث, the second person المخاطب, which both are present الحاضر, or is it not present, the third person الغائب. Also, it's important to know if it's for singular, dual, or plural. It's for masculine or feminine. It is for animate or an inanimate. In Arabic, the animate, it is basically for the human being. Inanimate, it is for non-human being, like, for example, animals, plants, matters, or like, for example, emotions. Then also it's important to know if it's indicative for something here and close, or is it here but far, or is not here and it is far or close. By knowing this information here, it becomes easier to understand how to use each noun and related pronouns or tools, building up your knowledge in Arabic very well and solid. So let's move to the next part of our lesson today. Okay, in Arabic, the possessive adjectives are not adjectives. They are possessive attached pronouns. They are suffixes added to the end of the nouns, each for the status and the degree of the person in possession. If it's singular, dual, or plural, first, second, or third person. In this lesson, I put several examples to practice conjugating these possessive attached pronouns. So let's go for the first example, which is a child. A child in Arabic can be masculine or feminine, and here is the masculine format that we are starting with. So, a child, masculine, طفل. My child, طفلي. What about the dual format? The dual format for طفل itself is either طفلان or طفلين, to add ألف نون or ياء نون. And sometimes even the noon is dropped for the grammatical reason. So طفلان or طفلين, they are the same, but we choose the one for the grammatical location of the word is correct for it. However, even with noon or without noon, when we add the possessive attached pronouns, we have to drop the noon in the dual. And the same thing is applied if the plural noon is existed at the end of the word when it's at the plural format. We need to drop it as well when we attach to it the possessive pronoun. Let's see how that works now for the dual format. After dropping the noun, we just add the attached pronoun, which is in this case my children. It becomes طفلاي for طفلة, or طفلي for طفلي. Okay, we don't say in Arabic طفليي, so ya and ya. We merge one ya and put shadda on the top of it, and we say طفلي. Okay, for the plural format of children is أطفال. And if I would like to say my children for more than two, it is أطفالي. Before we go any further in this lesson, I would like to mention that in my own dialect and some of today's spoken dialects, when we want to use the dual format, we don't say طفلي or طفلاي, we say طفليني. The next, when I would like to say our child, so طفلنا, our child. What about the dual? The same thing, we will drop the noon for the dual and we end up with طفلة plus na, it becomes طفلانة, or طفلي plus na, it becomes طفلينا. For the plural format, so similar, أطفالنا. Now let's see for the second person. For the second person in Arabic, you or your, it can be feminine or masculine, plural for both feminine and masculine. So let's go with the first one as singular, your, and we will go masculine first and feminine next. So طفل, طفلك, طفلك, or طفلك, طفلك if we want to say it in the modern standard pronunciation. So for the plural, it becomes طفلان or طفلين, dropping the noon, طفلاك طفلاك طفليك or طفلاكي طفليكي. For the plural is أطفالك or أطفالك. Then let's go for the your child as a plural. So طفل becomes طفلكم masculine, طفلكن feminine. For the dual format, I had to put it in 2 lines because it will be too complicated if I run them in 1 line. For the format طفلان is طفلاكم because we drop the noon, right? And then طفلاكن for the feminine. For the format طفلين becomes طفليكم, طفليكن. For the plural of children and plural of your, it becomes أطفالكم, أطفالكن. Finally, for the third person, his child, طفله. His children for 2 children, طفلا, طفلي, after dropping the noon, right? And then for the plural, أطفال, أطفاله. And then for her child, طفلها, طفلاها, طفليها, أطفالها. And here we are going to see طفلهم, طفلهن for their child when there is masculine هم, when is feminine هن. And then طفلاهم or طفلاهن, طفليهم, طفليهن. And finally for the third person plural أطفالهم masculine, أطفالهن feminine. So we will practice exactly the same for the next examples. The only difference we will see, it depends on the type of the word, if it's feminine, masculine, if it's ending with one of the feminine mark, or if it's ended, like for example here in the dual with noon, we will change accordingly. The next example is going to be a child feminine. So let's go for it. For the child feminine, we add the مربوطة at the end of طفل to make it feminine. So it is طفلة. If I would like to say my child, which is like a girl child, طفلتي. The ta مربوطة, like the type of ta at the end of the word as a feminine mark, is opened and become extended form like طفلتي. And then everything else looks exactly the same grammatical suffix addition to the end of the word, similar to the previous slide. So طفلتا, طفلتي becomes طفلتاي, طفلتي. And I would like to mention the specific case for the dual format in today's spoken dialects, including my own dialect, which is the standard Saudi Arabian. We say طفلتين instead of say طفلتي. We keep the noon and we just conjugate. Then طفلاتي for the plural طفلات. Then our child girl طفلتنا, طفلتانا, طفلتينا, طفلاتنا. And then we just remove the noon here, don't forget that. For your child singular masculine طفلتك feminine طفلتك. Dual طفلتاك or طفلتيك feminine طفلتاكي or طفلتيك. For the plural طفلاتك, طفلاتك. Now let's see the plural format of your child. طفلتكم, طفلتكن. If his child is dual and your is plural, طفلاتكم, طفلتاكم, طفلتاكم, طفلتاكن, طفلتيكم, طفلتيكن. Finally, children is plural and your is plural, طفلاتكم, طفلاتكن. Now for the third person, we will say طفلته, طفلتاه, or طفلتيه, طفلاته. And here, her child, طفلتها, طفلتاها, طفلتيها if the children are 2, طفلاتها if the children more than 2. And finally, طفلتهم, طفلتهن, طفلتاهم, طفلتيهم, طفلتاهن, طفلتيهن, طفلاتهم, طفلاتهن. I think you got it. Let's go for the last example of the possessive adjectives which are correctly named to be possessive attached pronouns. The last example is قلم, a pen. قلم is an inanimate noun. I like this example because in the plural format comes feminine, and here it is masculine on the singular format. So you can see the change on feminine, masculine, singular, and plural. So if I would like to say a pen, قلم, my pen, قلمي, my pens too, قلماي or قلمي, and not to forget on the dual format for the spoken dialects it's قلميني, my pens, أقلامي. Next, our pen, قلمنا, قلمانا, قلمينا, أقلامنا, قلمك, قلمك, قلماك or قلميك, قلماكي, قلميكي for the feminine, أقلامك, أقلامك, and then for the your as a plural, قلمكم, قلمكن, قلمكم, قلمكن, for dual pen and plural your, قلماكم, قلميكم, قلماكم, قلماكن, قلميكن, and finally أقلامكم, أقلامكن. For the third person, قلمه, قلماه or قلميه, أقلامه. For the masculine, his, her, قلمها, قلماها, قلميها, أقلامها. And finally, قلمهم or قلمهن, قلماهم or قلميهم, قلماهن, قلميهن, أقلامهم, أقلامهن. Excellent. Now let's have an idea how the English possessive pronouns look in Arabic. See the examples here. It is my pen. The pen is mine. They are her books. The books are hers. What we notice here is the change of the order for the meaning of the thing that we want to tell. When we say my pen, her book, here we have the possessive adjectives as they are defined in English, but in Arabic, they are possessive adhesive pronouns. However, when we want to say the pen is mine, the order of pen becomes at the beginning, and mine, which is considered in English the possessive pronouns for my, it is located afterward. The same for hers. But the books, the pen, or the nouns that indicated for the possessive pronouns has to be definite. Notice that, like the definite article for the pen, or it can be determined with, for example, this pen, those books, so on and so forth. To keep this in mind, right, when we use the possessive pronouns in English. Let's see how that look like in Arabic. In Arabic, we don't have possessive pronouns. However, we have expressions that we use to tell what we want to tell when we are saying mine, ours, yours, hers, so on and so forth. They are honestly similar to some expressions in English when we want to use something as an alternative or synonym for mine without using mine. And here are the examples for the Arabic logic to tell the same meaning of the English possessive pronouns when we want to tell the same thing in Arabic. We say, the pen is my own, or is my possession, or is my right, or my belonging, or it is for me, or to me. Honestly, there are more ways to tell the same thing here in English when we say a possessive pronouns, but we don't have a specific possessive pronouns designed for this type, similar to the English one. I'm going to present the most commonly used ways to tell that. The first ways that to tell mine or hers in the examples here is to say حق or حقت. حق is masculine and حقت if it's feminine, despite being singular, dual or plural. If the noun is masculine, we say حق plus the possessive attached pronouns, or حقت if it's feminine plus the possessive attached pronouns in Arabic. Or we can say خاص, خاصة, and it has to come with the preposition في or be, and after the preposition we conjugate the possessive attached pronouns. The same thing for حق or حقت. خاص is for masculine, خاصة is for feminine, despite if it is singular, dual, or plural. The second thing I would like to mention about these top ways to say mine or my own that حق and حقت used mostly in the spoken dialects. It's very rare to use it in modern standard Arabic, but it's still correct if you want. But most of the time is used as a spoken dialect method. For خاص or خاصة be في, it's used equally correctly and commonly without feeling awkward either in modern standard Arabic or spoken dialects. The second expression is here in black, تبع, which means it is under the name or under the position of, or it also means own, or milk or mulk if you want to pronounce it in modern standard Arabic, which means position. These two expressions, they come for singular, dual, plural, feminine, masculine, with no change. They exactly like that, and you just conjugate the possessive attached pronouns to them at the end of them. Here I would like to show this way using the preposition for or to, sometimes can mean to, like for example, this is to me or for me. It is lam. It's a preposition for the meaning of for, and it comes with no gender or no plural or singular change. You just conjugate the possessive attached pronouns to it. It is so beautiful, so easy, so common to use it in every dialects, in every context for modern standard Arabic or for spoken dialects. It doesn't have a specific meaning for ownership or for belongings, like there are things you can own. Like it can be used for all type of contexts, easy to use it and easy to conjugate it. Then the last three ways, it's more when we are talking about stuffs, about matters, or about things that don't have souls. We say غرض if it's singular, أغراض if it's plural, شيء if it's singular, أشياء if it's plural, حاجة if it's singular, حاجات if it's plural. In today's lesson, I'm going to practice the usage of حق, حقت, خاص, خاصة, فيني or بي, تبع, milk it looks exactly the same as تبع, and لي. I'm not going to use these three because it's easy to use them. You just need to know that if it's used for to replace one thing or group of things. Like for example, if I would like to say these stuffs are my stuffs, we just use one of these words. Okay, in this part I decided to stick to my own dialect, standard Saudi Arabian dialects, since حقت is used mostly for the spoken dialects, and also I'm going to stick to the example pen when I'm going to practice the possessive expressions with the possessive pronouns in Arabic using these words to replace the possessive pronouns in English in a sentence, because pen as a singular is masculine and as a plural pens feminine. So it will be a very good example to practice حق حقت. So let's go for the first one. قلمي القلم حقي. أقلامي الأقلام حقتي. قلمنا القلم حقنا. أقلامنا الأقلام حقتنا. قلمك قلمك القلم حقك حقك. أقلامك أقلامك الأقلام حقتك حقتك. قلمكم قلمكن القلم حقكم حقكن. أقلامكم أقلامكن الأقلام حقتكم حقتكم. قلمه القلم حقه. أقلامه الأقلام حقته. قلمها القلم حقها. أقلامها الأقلام حقتها. قلمهم قلمهن القلم حقهم حقهن. أقلامهم أقلامهن الأقلام حقتهم حقتهن. Now let's practice using the expression خاص في خاص بي for masculine, خاصة في خاصة بي for feminine. Keeping in mind this is used in both modern standard Arabic and spoken dialects today equally without feeling awkward when using them in both ways. So قلمي القلم خاص في بي. أقلامي الأقلام خاصة في بي. قلمنا القلم خاص فينا. القلم خاص بنا. أقلامنا، الأقلام خاصة فينا، الأقلام خاصة بنا. قلمك، قلمك، القلم خاص فيك بك. أقلامك، أقلامك، الأقلام خاصة فيك بك. قلمكم، قلمكن، القلم خاص فيكم فيكن، القلم خاص بكم بكن. أقلامكم، أقلامكن، الأقلام خاصة فيكم فيكن، الأقلام خاصة بكم بكن. قلمه، القلم خاص فيه به. أقلامه، الأقلام خاصة فيه به. قلمها، القلم خاص فيها بها. أقلامها، الأقلام خاصة فيها بها. قلمهم، قلمهن، القلم خاص فيهم فيهن، القلم خاص بهم بهن. أقلامهم، أقلامهن، الأقلام خاصة فيهم فيهن، الأقلام خاصة بهم بهن. And I found there is no way to skip this information when you want to say القلم خاص في. In today's spoken dialects, a lot of people they say القلم خاص فيني. Basically they keep في as it is, and when they add my, the possessive attached pronoun for the first person singular, they keep it and they separate between the double ya with noon. So they say فيني. Yep, now let's use the expression تبع to practice the possessive pronouns in Arabic. I love the expression تبع because it's widely used among different spoken dialects today. Like almost every spoken dialects in today Arab, they use تبع to express the possessive pronouns that's similar to how they look like in English. And the beautiful thing about تبع is still can be used the exact way, the exact pronunciation, the exact conjugation also in modern standard Arabic, and it doesn't really matter for the gender, like masculine or feminine, or the plural, singular or dual. It always looks the same. You just conjugate the possessive pronouns to it. So let's go. قلمي، القلم تبعي. أقلامي، الأقلام تبعي. قلمنا، القلم تبعنا. أقلامنا، الأقلام تبعنا. قلمك، قلمك، القلم تبعك تبعك. أقلامك، أقلامك، الأقلام تبعك تبعك. So easy, right? قلمكم، قلمكن، القلم تبعكم تبعكن. أقلامكم، أقلامكن، الأقلام تبعكم تبعكن. قلمه، القلم تبعه، أقلامه، الأقلام تبعه. قلمها، القلم تبعها، أقلامها، الأقلام تبعها. قلمهم، قلمهن، القلم تبعهم تبعهن، أقلامهم، أقلامهن، الأقلام تبعهم تبعهن. Yeah, we arrived to another favorite part of this lesson about the usage of possessive pronouns by practicing the usage of the preposition lam as an expression for the possession. What I love about the using of the preposition la, it is very simple and easy to say it's for me, or it belongs to me, or it is mine. For example, on the level of the first person singular. And also it's suitable to show the possession pronouns without being too possessive, so it fits a wide spectrum of nouns as an indicative for the possession of these nouns. One more to add, that it doesn't matter for the gender, like if it's singular, dual, or plural, on either feminine or masculine, is always la, and conjugate the possessive pronoun to it. That's simple. So the only thing that the preposition la, when it means for, in today's spoken dialects, some dialects is changed a bit, like the Levantine, and they don't say la, they actually say il. They add alif with kasra before the letter la, and they conjugate similarly with the possessive pronouns. So let's see in my own dialects and in the modern standard Arabic how it looks like. قلمي، القلم لي. But for the Levantine it will be القلم إلي. أقلامي، الأقلام لي. In Levantine Arabic, for example, it will be الأقلام إلي. Just add alif at the beginning with kasra. So قلمنا، القلم لنا. أقلامنا، الأقلام لنا. قلمك، قلمك، القلم لك لك. أقلامك، أقلامك، الأقلام لك لك. قلمكم قلمكن، القلم لكم لكن، أقلامكم أقلامكن، الأقلام لكم لكن، قلمه القلم له، أقلامه الأقلام له، قلمها القلم لها، أقلامها الأقلام لها، قلمهم قلمهن، القلم لهم لهن، أقلامهم أقلامهن، الأقلام لهم لهن. Yeah, let's go to the last part of today's lesson, which is why not to say this to express the possessive pronouns that known as they look in English. The books are my books. It's like the same if you want to say the books are mine, right? So الكتب كتبي. The pen is her pen. القلم قلمها. Similarly, the notebooks are his notebooks. الدفاتر دفاتره. البيت بيتك. The home is your home. And finally, earth is our home. الأرض بيتنا. We arrived at the end of this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to study the demonstrative pronouns and determiners. So stay tuned. Please subscribe to my channel. Give the video a thumb up if you like it and found it useful. Share it with friends and family who are interested in learning Arabic. And write in the comment section your questions, your opinion about this video, and everything you want me to clarify about learning the language. If you would like to follow me on my page on Instagram, you are so welcome on my page Learn Arabic with Hana. For now, شكرا على المشاهدة. Thank you for watching. مع السلامة. Goodbye.